Hey y'all. Oh my god. Okay, we got the meditative music in. Yeah, sounds good up in here. Okay, so today, what we are going to be talking about, I have a new microphone by the way. I feel like I can double hear myself. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Not too sure. Let me just make sure the sound levels and stuff is like cool. Alright. I mean, whatever, man. It's whatevs. This is a very sensitive microphone, too. Yes. Where's my gain at? Where's the gain? Hello. Okay, I'm so sorry. So today, we're going to, let me just, whop. Okay. So, yeah, I just had to hear what I sounded like. Very good. Nice microphone quality. Yeah, so basically, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So basically, we're going to be talking about how fastly things can just transition into sticky altercations. Now, I'm sure everyone can think of, a situation, like probably a handful throughout your lives, where it's just like one simple thing, like it didn't have to go that way, but you know, just like one simple thing and now you're in all this shit. You know what I mean? Like a car accident. You know, maybe you didn't look to the left good enough, maybe you ain't look to the right. Now, boom, your car's fucked up, gotta get a whole brand new car. Pay off these fees, whatever, I don't even know, man, but just a whole bunch of BS that could have been avoided by just being a little bit more conscious and a little bit more present and a little bit of more aware and kind of focusing as to like just like what could happen after this. I don't know, you know, kind of like getting arrested. My inspiration for this topic was I was smoking on my Danicha in my car, and I was looking at Instagram, and there was a video of this guy. He looked like pupils was big as hell, eyes busting out the forehead, and he was just like he said some shit like I couldn't let y'all catch me because I'm too saucy or some shit like that. And then he was like, they were like, are you under the influence of alcohol? He was like, no. They were like, are you on drugs? He was like, what's drugs? Now, first of all, a pretty solid response, if I'm being real with you. What's drugs? Like, that's a good one. That, sir, like, come back here. You might deserve an award on that one. A lot of people are going to be using that. What is drugs? And that's a pretty valid question, if I do say so myself, because what is drugs? Like, can you, like, read me a list of, like, what you would qualify as drugs? You know, you can't just be like, are you on drugs? Like, you know what I mean? Like, get specific now. Is my boy on crack, Molly, Hey-Ron? That's probably not even some Hey-Ron shit. Some cocaina? Probably cocaina, if I'm being real with you. Anyway, but yeah, I'm not into none of those. You know, a good little marijuana. It's cool, man. I like shit that like grows from the earth. You know, if you gotta cook it up in a lab, we have a problem. The problem is I'm not interested. Anyway, but yeah, I'd like to share a couple situations I went through where it escalated very quickly and it didn't have to go like that. So the first one is going to be a car accident. So first of all, because this has a lot to do with greed, and we'll talk about that another day, but I had got a cup of ice, and at the time I didn't have now I have like a little thing where I can put my cup of ice in, like, you know, like a flask, but for non-alcoholic purposes. Like, I just can't think of the word for some reason. But, like those thermotemp things. So, yeah. I didn't have one of those. So, like, as soon as I get my ice, it starts melting. So I already got a cup of ice near the closest Wawa to where I live. And I was in the car with my brother in this hoopty. I had my driver's license, but no car. I was just driving the family hoopty at the moment. Because everyone was out of a car at the moment. Everyone had car problems, and we were all sharing this one little hoopty. So I had to go to the bank and deposit money or something like that. So I go to the bank, deposit money, and then I'm like, there's a Wawa right next to the bank, and they got some pretty good ice. So I'm like, man, fuck it, let me go there. And I'm going in traffic. Around this time, boy, is there traffic. And I went to go turn at the light. Like, there's only so much I can really describe to y'all. And like, mind you, they had a red light. Opposing traffic had the red light. And I was just waiting. And there was 2 lanes. One lane was full. So that car was just, there. And they were kind of like, you can go honey. Because they don't got nowhere to be. And I'm trying to be very, like, gentle on how I'm getting out. And I go to start my turn. Look, I don't see anybody coming. Then I guess this guy, who must have been also a young boy, he was probably 19 at the time. What does he do? He just kind of like pulls out like so fast I didn't even see him or whatever. Not pulls out, but like switches lanes, because I guess he wasn't paying attention. And mind you, he is in this Ram truck. I've never heard of a Ram fucking car until this day. And from that point forward, I saw Rams everywhere. But and he big blue Ram truck. I'm in this little sedan. I think of the sedan hoopty. The car or sedan, I don't know. They don't make it anymore though. It's discontinued, and he fucking chops right in the side of me. Luckily, the door frame, he hit it the way that it got hit. Cause like if it would have got hit any other way, my brother, his whole part would have been crushed in. And he's a football player, so that would have been no bueno. So luckily, and he hit us. We did almost like a what? Like, cause if we were this way, he turned me almost like a 180. Like, and then he pushed me into this other car, and he got, just a little tap, this little old man. So, everybody, my car was left immobile, starts smoking immediately, and I'm just like looking like, yo, like in 1 second, everything just got fucked. And like from that point forward, like it was such a difficult time because no one had a car. We were using this car for my mom's friend, and it was just like, I went to the hospital, wasn't feeling good, it's just like, it was crazy, and it was really traumatic. I had like a bruise on my leg or whatever, and just like, it was just like really a traumatic moment to like, for that to suddenly happen, and like that feeling of being hit like that, it's really like, it was really traumatizing for me. And getting back on the road after that, I didn't even want to be back on the road. Like, that was terrible. It was terrible. Oh God. But everything is all right, everyone's alive, and that's really the best thing we could ask for. It's really a blessing. No major damage was done. So yeah, it was very traumatizing though, and it took me a while to learn how to drive again. It's just also realizing you are not always the problem, and just realizing, just being conscious and aware, and I've avoided accidents since then. Of course, there's been some close altercations because people can't drive, because people are not present, and people need to be more present. We just need to be more consciously aware, especially when it comes to driving. You gotta drive like no one knows what they're doing. You just gotta assume no one knows what they're doing sometimes. And just take the precautious route, you know? Even if you're in a rush, like, take a minute. You see someone trying to speed in front of you? Slow down. Just slow down. Sir, I like the ambition. Go. Get where you gotta go. You know? Because it all just happens in a flash, and all these unnecessary purchases and unnecessary stress and just pain can all be avoided just by being a little bit more aware. Yes, so the next story that I have is a police transaction. So yes. So the first time I had got arrested, the first time I had got pulled over driving, it was, I ended up getting arrested. That's really as much as we're going to speak on that one. And while they were kind of searching my car, I was standing with this one officer talking to him because, you know, they request backup. And we had a pretty good conversation. We talked about our lives. And like, you know, I told him about me working at S.H.E. My car keeps making this water swishing sound. He's like, it's probably like water in this thing, just drain it out, you know. Having a pretty good conversation while the guy's looking in certain areas. I'm like, I didn't even know I had that spot. I was like, a pretty good spot to hide stuff, huh? It's like, this is not a laughing moment. Okay. But, you know, we had a pretty good time, pretty good conversation. And a lot more than, you know, most people would probably have. And then, you know, ended up with the guy like, all right, put your hands behind your back. I don't like that. I really don't like that, like, when they do that. Like, please talk to me, dude. Tell me first, because Mr. Hard Dick, like, why are you acting like that? But, yeah. And then he put me in the car. And then the other guy, he, like, you know, when he was walking back and forth to his car, he avoided looking at me, which really kind of hurt me in a way, because it's just like, so now that I'm being charged with something, I'm just like a piece of shit, basically. No better than a piece of shit on the floor. That's how you're treating me. You're making me feel like that right now, because you're just not even looking my way, as if I'm not even human, just because I'm now in the back of this car in cuffs, you know? And then they searched the part where I made that joke. They searched that again just to make sure, and I was like, wow. Like, no, I wasn't hiding nothing there, motherfucker. Like, shit. You know, and I was just real offended. So, yeah. Now, this transaction leads to the one where things can really go in a second. Our friend, I was with my friend, and he was getting his aunt to drive us home to my house. And, a cop, now people, this is where we also need to stop and calm down. Just because a police officer is behind you, whether you did wrong or not, don't be suspicious, you know? Because, like, I guess, like, a cop pulled up behind us. Because I live on a street where it's, like, a cop, like, police station is right, like, on that street. So police get on that street to go all the time where they gotta go, what they want to do. It's, like, inevitable on that street, you know, to see a cop. Because it's, like, you know, they're going either to their quarters or back from, you know. And, you know, the cop pulls out behind us. He's like, oh my God, there's a cop. And then it's like, you know, that automatically gives people like, and shit. So now she's like, the driver, she's a bit, yeesh. And it's dark, and I am a person who wears glasses, so I can't see that well in the dark. And I'm kind of like a bit antsy too. Just cause, you know, just police are police, man. And, I'm like, okay, well, the turn's coming up soon. We got the blinker on going down the whole fucking street, basically. And I'm like, this is so suspicious. And, then, like, oh, I'm like, it's this street. wasn't that street. As soon as she turns, lights on. You know, like he was waiting for that. Now, it was already a thing as, like, you know, her plates didn't match the car. So they were already kind of, like, on that. And, like, she had a child's car. So it was, like, you know, when you got kids, your car is dirty, nasty, Pop-Tarts in the seats, all of that, floors, yeesh. You know? So when they were, like, they had to search the car because that's just what they do. They did not like it. I don't know why I'm saying that part first. Like, I'm so out of order. Okay. Girl, I'm so in order. Okay. So they pull over. And they're just like, you know, license plates don't match. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all all got to get out while we search the car. I take my bag with me. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know the law that well, but what I'm pretty sure the law entitles is, like, that I can, like, take my things. I'm like, I was just like, they were like, leave the bag in the car. I'm like, but the bag didn't come with the car. You gotta search the car. This is my bag, not the car's bag. And he did not like that. He was just like, man, put it in the car. We just gotta make sure you don't have anything that is going to hurt us. I'm like, I don't have anything that's going to hurt you. I don't intend to hurt you at all in any way. You know, he's just like, just put it in the car, ma'am. And he starts getting big and very bad with me and just, like, kind of starts yelling at me a bit. And I think I saw him put his hand on his gun. Didn't, like, release nothing, but, like, you know, hand on hip, bitch, okay, all right. And I was, like, very upset because from that transaction, they acted like the first time when they arrested me, like, there was, like, no problem at first, even though there was a problem. And then just, like, I had to pay $2,000 for a lawyer. Then I had to pay $1,000 something just to not be, what is that? I don't know, like a federal fucking villain or whatever. You know, a federal criminal, basically. Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to not be a criminal sometimes. At least as a first offender or a white man, you just gotta pay. And it's like, poof, never happened. They literally qualify it as something else when you talk to the judge. Dead ass. It's just like, so instead of like what happened, it was just I got rowdy with an officer. I was like, that's bullshit, but all right. That is so corrupt. And I just had to pay like all this money. Matter of fact, have to go because I still owe payments. It's just hard to remember sometimes. So I was very upset by that and very hurt by that transaction and still the way that man treated me that day. So when this man was yelling at me to put my bag in the car, I was like, all right. Like, all right, motherfucker. Like, I was just like, all right, damn, nigga. Like, you ain't got to get up, like, in my face and shit. Got the hand on the gun and stuff. And he's just like, it's a little, like, hazy when I talk about it. But, like, what you say? Like, damn, I was just like, something, like, basically, before you shoot me. And shit, like, I was like, I don't know, at some point I was just like, you want to shoot me? Go ahead, shoot me. Shoot me. No gun was out, hand was on hip though. And it was just like, my friend, because, you know, we're all three brown kids, brown people. And it's just, shit. My friend was very upset with that. He was just like, oh God, like, please stop. And then the guy, he got loud with us. He was like, I put my bag back in the car. And he was just like, sit down. Like, yelled at us, sit down on the curb. Everyone sat down on the curb. And then, like, I was just like, really, like, I was ready to die in this moment for what the fuck I felt and believed in. Like, I was ready. I was so ready. I was like, I don't give a fuck. This is my motherfucking moment. I'm gonna talk my shit. You know? And I was just being rowdy, and they were just like, he was like, you're going to jail. Or he was like, put your hands behind your back. Like, you're getting arrested. I'm like, no, for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, hell no. Waving my arms willy-nilly. For what, sir? For talking back to you? Getting rowdy with an officer? Like, is that what I'm going for? You know? And he's like, you know you're being recorded, right? Like, body cams on. I'm like, good. Let's talk about Mr. And then he was just like, why are you acting like that? He was like, cause I know you. I'm like, know me? You don't know me. He's like, you were the girl with the bop, 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 bink, bink, bink. I'm like, first of all, my business. You're out here and you're telling my business. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, so you the officer I was standing with, the one who was acting like I was nobody. And I told him that. I was like, after that, I was like, you like, you know, after I got arrested, we were having a great conversation. He was saying that too. He was like, yeah, we were having a good conversation. Like, I was thinking about you when I was driving past the Chuck E. Cheese and all that. And I'm like, yeah, but you, after like you found out, like I had what I had on me, you was treating me mad weird. You didn't even look at me like I wasn't even human no more. You know, just because of that. You know, and he was like, well, you got off good with the thing, you know? Like, you probably just had to pay a fine. I'm like, yeah. Pay $3,000, basically. Over $3,000 in fines, yes. Fucking including, like, my lawyer. Like, that. Yeah, thank you. At least I'm not a criminal, right? Still. It didn't have to be like that. But that's how it ended up being, you know? And then his friend, it was what had me fucked up, because I'm sorry, there was this K2O stuff that my brother gave me, I guess. He told me I could put it in my tea. I guess that's not what other people use it for, but I had it. He was talking about it's for lucid dreaming. And the one guy he knew all about it. He was like, yeah, because people, like, this is a serious offense because people be mixing it with, like, this and that and shit. And I'm like, sir, what are you talking about? I guess it's like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know, and he knew more about it. And then he was like, because it doesn't show up in drug tests and all this stuff. I'm like, how do you know this much? And when I was like arrested that day and I was waiting for them to drive me back to my car, he was talking, laughing with his friends, calling me dumb, basically talking about he's gonna smoke that shit too. So I said that in that body cam too. I was like, yeah, and Mr. like good something with a G, some dumbass last name. I was like, yeah, him, he said he was going to smoke that shit, so get him on that since you got your body cam on. Because I'm glad. You think I care? You think I'm embarrassed? No. I don't give a flying fuck. So, you know. I'm kind of like everywhere with the story because it happened a while ago, and then that moment, everything, it escalated so quickly just from me saying no. Like, and I don't know. Like, I should probably search it up. But my mom told me they legally can't search your bag or something if you say no. And yeah, we ended up being good. We had a talk. I was just like, I got to like pour my heart out to him about that because that really made me feel upset with the fact that he just like ignored me. And I told him about that. And I was glad that I got to tell him. My friend was very upset with me, but I was like, sorry, friend, but I just can't, like, on some self-care shit, I don't care. Like, you can be mad at me. I don't regret nothing. I don't, like, I feel bad, but I don't apologize because I don't regret what happened. Like, I almost got, he's like, I know you feel some form of, like, justification or clarity or whatever, or I don't know. But I'm like, yeah, you just wouldn't be able to know. You wouldn't be able to relate because you didn't go through what I went through. You know, you never got such a, like, it was a very big, like, charge, the biggest charge I've ever had in my life. It was a very serious offense or whatever the fuck they be saying. You know, but not serious enough where it's like I can pay my problems away. Being like, as it was my first, like, charged offense, whatever, I don't know. But, yeah, so just, like, luckily, since I knew the guy, it was the situation de-escalated, but like so quickly this man was ready to arrest me for trying to speak my rights, you know. It's really insane how quickly shit can change, you know. I could have been arrested if, like, especially I was like, no, I already took the fucking rowdy route. I already took the fucking, like, chose to, like, fuck the man, fuck this shit, you know. So I'm going with it. I'm going out with a bang, motherfucker, you know. I gotta keep talking my shit. And ended up leaving that night being cool. Like, he fist bumped me about like 3 times, talking about, I wish I could hug you. But yeah. So that's just like, you know, in a flash, stuff can really just change. But that was like, you know, that shit done flipped sides 4 times. You know, she ended up getting a ticket because, you know, license plate, girl, they don't match. But no one else. We were all good. Car was fine. That's when the officers were like so upset not having to look through it, because it was just like, ugh. Pretty sure they looked through my bag, yeah. Because, of course, as fucking rowdy as I was being. And I actually had something in my bag, so that's why I was also pissed. But we came out cool. You know, they didn't see nothing. But yeah, so that's just an example for me to you about how fastly things can change and how it at least affected me as a person. But yeah, that's really all we had to talk about today. So yeah, the song of the podcast, the day, whatever, is Field Trip by Melanie Martinez. It's a very good song, very in love with it. It's great. Melanie Martinez is amazing, beautiful. Yeah, that's really it. Everyone be safe, be lovely, be great, be you. And peace out. Till the next time I see you, or till the next time you hear from me.